It's good to see you guys. Really tough and just kind of heart-wrenching loss. Haven't really been a part of something like that, especially down to the last play of overtime, or last play of regulation, like how that went. And so, very hard to take. Team is very gutted, right now, and so frustrated, gutted. And so, we're probably going to be hurting all the way back to Waco. I think my message to them was, hey, there's a lot of heart in this. There's great care factor in this. There's just way too many mistakes. Way too many mistakes. And for us to be making those mistakes and wanting to win and expecting to win, we just can't do that. And that continued. We were able to battle back from this mistake and that mistake until we couldn't battle back anymore, and then the end of regulation play is something I've never seen, and then to fumble it when we could have tied it up and all of it, it's just par for the course, and so much to improve on. I love the team. I love their compete. I love their want to. Like I say, they're gutted. So big time game next week, and it's something we have to bounce back for, because I know they're going to come riding high. Take any questions you guys got.
Dave, was that a breakdown at all on that Hail Mary pass, or what was called, I guess?
Yeah, we have it's called Victory Cigar. It's supposed to be that, and we have to the quarterback's hand. We'll have an up and under rush, so there'll be a contained rush on the outside, and then there'll be someone that will work up and then come under, and so generally you get sprint outs to the quarterback's hand, and so you would work an up and under rush to try to flush them to someone that's outside of them for contain. Then away from the quarterback's hand, you have a contain rush, and so we had an injury earlier in the game, and so we had a backup in that spot, in one of those spots, and we wanted to see what their formation was, and so we called timeout prior to that play, and then we have the drawings of that play, and so during the timeout we were showing the drawings, and we went to opposite sides. The guy that was up and under went away, and the guy that was contained went to the other side. And so I think when you watch that play, you'll watch someone come from the right and just go up and under. Well, that's a shame because he's contained. And so I've never seen that. I take full responsibility for that. I have to find a way to coach that better. And so that's, I've never seen anything like that.
Calling the timeout before that play,
Yeah.
You just explained. In retrospect, did that give them more time? Do you feel it might have given them more time to get their heads in the game? Because they were running on empty before that.
No, I think I would do it again if I was going to be guaranteed that we'd get lined up and be in the right spot and do all the right things. And so to make that type of error coming off a timeout, when you have it drawn up and you have a card that's addressing that, is inexcusable.
You talk about one play at the end kind of wipe out the first 59 minutes of a lot of positive stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess where do you go from here?
Try to get your heart back in your body, I think. So I'll try to do that in these next couple hours.
Kind of bouncing on what he said, you talked a lot about the mistakes made in this game. Next practice, do you focus on those mistakes and fixing those mistakes, or do you look ahead and try and figure out how to tackle your next challenger?
I think we got to fix the mistakes. I look at, I think we had 8 sacks in this game. We should have had really double that, to be honest. And that's not any disrespect. I have so much respect for Colorado. I think, I think early in the game, defensively speaking, there's a couple series where they're setting back and the ball's off on time, and you could tell that, hey, they got a beat on you. They know where they're going with it. I think outside of that, really, those first 2 drives, I think a lot of it was, Rush was flushing them. We couldn't tackle them. his eyes came down, saw the rush, he's running around, and we struggled to contain him while he's running around, and then when the ball was up in the air, we struggled to make a play when the ball was in the air. I think that's really the name of the game. You know, you look at the passing yards, and so many of it, we were, you know, chasing the guy, and he's kind of running for his life, and he throws it up, and you know, we didn't come down with it. And so I just think there's a lot to improve there. You know, when things break down, making a play, and then I think overall to start, you know, we had a plan to start fast, and I thought there was elements of that, but I think we still need to be better in terms of the execution piece of starting fast. I think if that would have happened, I think that would have been a stronger trend in that first half, and you wouldn't have had those points early on.
There were a couple of plays that kind of took Colorado out of their rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
One especially was the kickoff return,
Mm-hmm.
touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Special teams was exceptional today.
Mm-hmm.
How did you see that impact the game? And then the other was, of course, the 4th and 1
Mm-hmm.
that quarterback ran all the way in for the touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed that they had lost a lot of mojo there.
Mm-hmm.
And the special teams play, and then did you call that 4th and 1 draw?
No, Spav did. It was good. It was good to. It was good to continue to make plays on teams. I think that we've been able to do that. Really, that's going back to last year, and so with new leadership there and new players and everything else, we continued to do that. So I'm pleased to see it. I think we're only going to get better there. I think offensively, there's really good things. I mean, the run game took a little bit to get going, but when it got going, I think it really helped us late in the game. And then I thought Sawyer played heart wide open, and as I would expect him to, you know. So a lot of positives there, but it's hard to see them right now.
How much of this moving forward is words that you and the coaches can tell your kids, and how much of it has to start with them moving forward and moving on from a heartbreaking loss like that?
Yeah, there's some of that. That happened in the locker room right after I talked. And so there's some of that going on. And I think, you know, there's always different stages for growth. And you always wish growth would be, you know, just like this. And so many times it's takes a more of a winding path. And I just think for our guys that have just fully committed to this, and to have their heart ripped out like this, of their own doing, you know, I think is a big wake-up call, and I know we'll respond. I know this team, and I know that we'll come out stronger because of this.
Coach, did you know Coach Sanders came down to see you?
No,
Yeah, he came down and waited about 4 or 5 minutes.
Oh,
because
yeah.
he was upset he didn't get to shake your hand
Yeah.
after the game because of the mask.
Yes.
And he said,
Oh, wow.
He
No, I
sent a
didn't know
message
that.
out here.
Yeah.
No.
He apologized that he didn't get that
no.
chance.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Kyler, I guess just how difficult was that when it was right there in your hands?
It's so hard, man. It's so hard to describe. Just something we practiced and something we got in and we didn't execute. Just hurts, man.
What happened on that play?
We just had one missed assignment that cost us. Something that we got to be better at. Starting on.
Does it take away what you did for the first, 59 minutes of the game?
Sure feels that way. Terrible. You want to remember the good, but I think it's hard to remember the good when it turns out the way it did.
You kept him running around the entire game. He was never seemed comfortable. How tough is it to feel like you have the game in control and see just that one play send it over?
It's just heartbreaking. It's really just, it's just, like I said before, just something we practiced and we just didn't execute it at the time we needed to. Yeah, it's just heartbreaking. I wish I had another way to describe it. Yeah.
What were you able to do to keep him off his stride and penetration, especially in the second half?
Coach Aranda, he's one of the best defensive minds in football. That's the whole reason I came here. And he came with a good game plan, and shoot, we should have had way more than we did. He did a really good job in the pocket of getting away of trouble whenever he needed to. So, props to him.
It's obviously a crushing way to lose Big 12 opener for y'all, but where do you go from here? What's the next step?
I think the biggest thing is we can't let this turn into what it did last year. You know, it's going to come down to what we do next week. You know, losses are going to happen. This is football. This is Big 12 football. You know, so it's really about how we bounce back. We can't do what we did last year. So, and I think as many of the guys in the locker room that were here last year, we're not doing that again. So,
What did Coach say after the game?
it's just heartbreaking. Too many mistakes. You know, we shot ourselves in the foot too many times. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
What do you want, how do you want to respond? You said you're going to respond. How do you do that? How do you want to respond?
Yeah, we just got to learn from our mistakes. We got to be more prepared as a team. I think that's extra time. You got to spend individually, whatever it takes. You know, I think I'm not saying that we weren't committed. That's not what I'm saying, but we got to do more. You know, just got to do more.
What did you think going into overtime that, you know, still had a chance here?
Yeah, it's like, let's go. You know, like we got ourselves in the situation. Let's get ourselves out. Yeah, just more football.
Tyler, it didn't look like y'all were having a blitz a whole lot. I mean, y'all were sending some guys on the edge. It didn't seem like y'all were having a blitz that
No, sir. Really just a lot of stunts up front. Bringing guys showing up, they're dropping back, just getting the offensive line to slide where we want them to, and things of that nature. So, like I said, Coach Aranda is one of the best defensive minds in football. So, just doing whatever he draws up.
Anything else for Cohen?
Thank y'all.
Josh, what was Coach Aranda talking about? What was the feeling in the locker room after the game? The way that
Just a lot of hurt. Yeah, it's a lot of hurt. There's only just one way to go now, is that's up. But just a lot of hurt. A lot of errors. So one thing he was talking about, just errors that we made that can't be made if we want to beat good teams like that. So.
I know it's hard to kind of put into words, you know, how close you guys were to winning that. I mean, when they came back with that ruling, I guess, that it stood, what was the emotion for you kind of going through your mind?
Just a lot of anger, disappointment. Yeah, still kind of feeling that, just anger, disappointment, really.
Where do you go from here? How do you use this, or where do you go from here?
And it's kind of like I said before, there's only one way to go, and that's up. And really just using this loss, just remembering this feeling. Just remembering this feeling. The whole locker room feels just remembering this feeling going into the next games.
Josh, a lot of big plays on special teams. You take a lot of pride in that. I know it's tough after a loss like this, but just what you guys were able to do on special teams.
Yeah, I just thank Coach Scott for the scheme, and then just the guys around me blocking. It wouldn't be possible without them.
Do you feel like y'all still had some juice going into overtime after all of that? I mean, you get it down to the 1 yard line or the 2 yard line, but did you feel going into that overtime like y'all still had a chance to keep it moving?
No doubt. I definitely felt that way. We were moving, so there was good energy going to overtime.
What did you think about how Sawyer kind of led the offense in his first true road start? Just kind of commanding it, you know, maybe as opposed to DQ.
I think he just did an awesome job handling the environment. This is one of the loudest stadiums that I've really played at, so I think he handled it great. And yeah, he just did a great job.
If he had the 4th and 1, you know, did you know he was going to run up for that touchdown? What was the play call there?
I don't remember what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
The one where Sawyer went all the way. Y'all
Oh,
had
that
41
one,
to
okay.
45, and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
kind of a quarterback draw.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that was. Sorry. What was the original question?
So was that the play call, or did he just see it and take off?
I kind of forgot, to be honest. I'm sorry.
Anything else for Josh? Thanks, guys.
Thank you.